So Stern talking about Rogan. A doctor would also give you a vaccine because he's like, I went to a doctor. Rogan said, I went to a doctor. I get this thing from a vet. He went to a doctor, and I got this medicine from a doctor. And Howard's line was like, a doctor would also give you a vaccine. Like, maybe Joe Rogan doesn't want the fucking vaccine. Maybe Joe Rogan cured fucking COVID in 3 days with his crazy concoction of horse dewormer and steroids, I'm sure. Something like that. But what do we have here as far as Stern goes? We have
first signed on Tuesday. I just went. I didn't even want to spend a lot of time on COVID and vaccination and all the shitheads in our country who won't get vaccinations. They're like, I don't want you guys worship Dr. Fauci. Meanwhile, they go to the doctor and they'll take horse dewormer from a doctor.
Yes, Howard.
Like I heard Joe Rogan was saying, he says, what are you busting my balls?
I've got COVID,
He goes,
I'm
I
taking
took
a horse dewormer,
and a doctor gave it to me. I go, well, a doctor would also give you a vaccine, so why take horse dewormer? I don't know. So I was just saying, like, all the people who are anti-vaccination or or want their freedom. So I got on the air, and I even said to you, I won't dwell on this. I was like, what the fuck? Make it all mandatory. Can you imagine in this country if, like, when polio was out, if we had these idiots who would not take the polio vaccine in our country? Everyone took the polio vaccine.
Everybody be on crutches or in an iron lung,
Yeah, and it was like, it was a no-brainer. They had a cure. This guy came up with a cure for polio.
It's not a cure.
And everybody just took it because you didn't want your kids getting it. You didn't want to get it.
You didn't want to give it to anybody.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Shit.
All of a sudden, it's
He's terrible.
We don't want to take this vaccine. It was always mandatory. When I went to school, measles, mumps, you name it.
Real heavy-duty diseases.
Vaccines they had.
Because believe it or not, people used to die in mass from all this shit.
Or get some horrible lifelong condition.
Yeah, like you had to walk with a big
That's
shoe
why people got their
polio.
Vaccines for that.
If you managed
You didn't
to
get
survive
better
it.
from those diseases.
And it was like a really
All right,
cool...
get this fucking asshole off. God, he's terrible, too. Oh, the great broadcaster, Howard. Oh, does he suck? Fucking A. He answered his own question. The polio thing is simple. Yeah, when a polio fucking vaccine came out, it was a miracle. Because people were you'd walk down the street and go, holy fuck. Look at what polio did. Hey, how you doing? Fucking had polio. You're an iron lung. Because you can't breathe anymore. Yeah. And people were like, oh, you got a cure for that? Yeah, fuck yeah.
Also, it's a cure for it.
Yeah.
If you get the vaccine, you can't get polio then.
Right. You wouldn't get polio.
Now you get the vaccine, you can still get COVID. So
what are they calling it?
A leaky. Is it a leaky vaccine? That's what I've heard.
No, I've heard it's breakthrough.
Oh, breakthrough case.
Oh, a breakthrough case. Wendy Williams, by the way, just announced she has a breakthrough case because she was vaccinated, and now she's got COVID. This wasn't happening with polio. And if people didn't get certain there were mandatory vaccines in order to go to school. They were for childhood diseases. I got the fucking thing. I remember. I don't remember. But we all, if you were born at a certain age, if you were born at a certain time, you have a scar on your shoulder from the inoculation gun. It was like a thing. They go, psh, very Star Trek-y. And you were inoculated for childhood diseases. Rubella, German measles, mumps, what some kind of monkeypox? No. Smallpox. Smallpox was eradicated from this country. Until, of course, people started running across the fucking border. And then smallpox came back for a little while in certain places. But those were vaccines for diseases, childhood diseases. What Howard doesn't bring up is that every year they didn't make kids get flu vaccinations. That's something that didn't happen. They didn't mandate that a kid couldn't go to school if he didn't get that year's flu vaccine. That was up to the parents if they wanted to do that or get it themselves or what the fuck ever. There's a big difference between lethal childhood diseases and things that would affect you for the rest of your life like that. And I know some people get COVID, they die. Yeah. Some people have respiratory problems, or there's all these other things they don't really know about. Long haulers, they call them, where they're fatigued for a year afterwards. So I get that thing. Again, those are mostly the anomalies. The vast majority of people that get COVID, the vast majority, in the 90 percentile, upper 90 percentile. And this isn't even for one demo. This is now every single person in the country, regardless of age. It's still in the upper 90 percentile. Will be fine after getting COVID. You'll get it at some level or another. It'll be terrible. You won't know you have it, maybe, or anywhere in between. But you'll get over it. And you won't have long hauler thing. You won't die. You won't fucking have any lasting problems with your organs or whatever. That wasn't what polio was or any of the other diseases you're inoculated for as a child, Howard. And good job criticizing the guy that cured it in 3 days because he's a fucking animal. Joe Rogan, he's a fucking animal. Horse dewormer. No, stupid. Oh, Howard. Isn't it amazing that Howard has never said anything that Robin disagreed with over the years? You know, a few things she'd be like, oh, Howard. But for the most part, but Joe Rogan had to. Oh. He got a real good step and fetch it. He got a real good boy that will fucking just mimic what he says and tap dance on stage. The act is so thin. Holy shit. And him, of all people, talking about trust in the government, make it a mandatory thing the government says. This is Mr. Crucified by the FCC, Mr. Rebellion. Oh, do your own thing, make your own choices, less government intervention in your life. You're vaccinated, Howie. Go out, have a good time. No, he's hiding in Florida, in his house in Florida, where he's broadcasting illegally.